enjoy your Zoa. No applause? You're all fired.
Now that you've reached the stage in your life where quality television is important, Nubian TV is a black network that speaks to your lifestyle. Nubian TV is the world's first digital network devoted to the upscale and political lifestyles of black people. Nubian TV's programming includes politics, travel, fashion, food, automotive, arts and culture, civil rights, music, and more. Watch now on Amazon Fire TV, Roku, or watch globally at nubiantv.net. Nubian TV, it's what you want to watch. Now,
come with me if you want to live a more delicious life.
Oh, maybe we should get in the van.
In this world, we don't get to control much. The past, male pattern baldness.
What geese?
Got one right now. The urge to puff that bubble wrap. But there is one thing we do get to choose every single day: what we eat. Welcome to the Sonic Department of Research and Deliciousment. We have everything you want, didn't know you wanted, and some things you didn't know were possible. Because we believe if you're not having fun, you're not living free. So come on, let's live a little.
Hey, good morning, America. Good morning, America.
Good morning, America.
Good morning, America.
Money! Are you ready? They are ready.
Covering the biggest events in the country right now.
There's a lot going on here this morning.
It's always a good time. That's what the show's about.
That's good.
Really good.
Very good.
Coming in hot, Jimmy, coming in hot.
It's far from elementary.
Oh,
Good morning, America. I'm not going to try to strut like Michael or anything.
I have known George a long, long time.
Have you ever gotten him to dance?
look at that face.
You don't just see it, you feel it.
I'm in.
I'm in. I'm in.
I'm in too.
I'll be there.
I am here and so happy.
I'm in.
I'm in too.
I'm in.
That tells you something when Snoop Dogg's in. Michael, George, where?
Ginger.
Good evening. My name is Mark Woodbury. I'm the chairman and CEO of Universal Destinations and Experiences. Well, we're finally here. Tomorrow we begin a new chapter at Universal Orlando Resort as we open Epic Universe. We built this place for you. I want to thank you, our fans, for your love of our stories, characters, and immersive experiences that inspired this incredible place. Epic Universe represents over 8 years of meticulous planning, immense creativity, and innovation, combined with unmatched craftsmanship and operational excellence on the part of thousands of people who have brought to life the stories and characters that live beyond each of Epic's portals. But it represents so much more. Your love of Universal and the deep connections we've shared together here in Orlando over the past 30 years inspired us to dream bigger and to push the boundaries to create something extraordinary for you and for generations of fans and families to come. And tomorrow, as we open Epic Universe, I can't wait for you to experience this place for yourself. Now it's your turn to step inside, to lose yourself, and to share this place with the ones you love most. As we open this park, we hope your world becomes a little more epic. Tomorrow, Epic Universe becomes yours.
Prepare for a journey beyond imagination, beyond belief, beyond anything you've experienced before. Universal Epic Universe, a new theme park where you'll step through extraordinary portals to 5 immersive worlds. Prepare for a cosmic voyage of discovery, an isle of fire-breathing excitement, a shadowy world of monsters and mystery, new wonders in the wizarding world, and a new way to play. Plus the splendor of a magnificent resort hotel overlooking the park. It's all new excitement at Universal Orlando Resort. A week's worth of vacation thrills with 4 amazing theme parks, a variety of spectacular themed hotels, and incredible dining and entertainment. It's all at Universal Orlando Resort, where you'll find new adventures every day. Explore the astonishing worlds of Universal Epic Universe at Universal Orlando Resort.
Well, hello to you, and you. Welcome into Braylon's virtual tour live. Glad to have all you here. By the way, thank you, Mark Woodbury, for stopping by the channel here to tell my audience that, and what a magnificent day it was this morning, opening up Universal's Epic Universe. Tomorrow morning, I have an article from Power Report that has the inside 411 that you need to know about that grand opening. But right from this space right here, right now, it's the 9th day of the Diddy trial. Kid Cudi took the stand. So with that being said, higher is waiting, lower is available. But either way, we are live on tour. Let me take down this iconic intro here. You see the virtual tour background. Yes, you do. And you hear that virtual tour music. Yes, you do. And then there is me. Hey, everybody. Welcome in. Glad to have all of you here in the building with me. Let's get to the getting and doing what we do, because believe me, it was a lot to talk about upon today. From NBCNews.com, Shonda Combs trial. Kid Cudi testifies his Porsche was torched with Molotov cocktail after relationship with Cassie Ventura. Combs faces 5 counts in total, including 2 of sex trafficking, and has denied all the allegations. By NBC News, rapper Scott McCuzzy, also known professionally as Kid Cudi, testified about his relationship with Cassie Ventura and the abusive nature of her relationship with Sean Combs Thursday. He testified his car was torched with a Molotov cocktail after his relationship with Ventura ended, and he suspected Combs was involved. Earlier in the day, Combs' former assistant George Kaplan returned to the witness stand, describing the demanding job of being Combs' bag man, cleaning up liquor bottles and baby oil from hotel rooms. So here we go here. Witnesses next week include another former assistant of Combs. Witnesses next week include another former assistant of Combs, members of LAPD and Los Angeles Fire Department. So the Los Angeles Police Department and Los Angeles Fire Department. Now you're probably wondering, wait a minute, Bray, what's going on here? Well, if you all remember, there wasn't just a raid in Miami. There was also a raid in Los Angeles, California. So, yes, indeed, court will resume on Tuesday, giving jurors an extended holiday weekend for another round of witnesses for the prosecutor. Maureen Comey told the judge that Capricorn Clark, Combs' former assistant, will take the stand, as well as unnamed members of the Los Angeles Police Department and Los Angeles Fire Department. The weekend comes early for jurors. Homeland Security International Special Agent Joshua Croft, who specializes in computer forensics, left the witness stand and drew a close on testimony for the week. Court will not be in session tomorrow and Monday for the federal observance of Memorial Day. So tomorrow, y'all will not be getting a Diddy update. So we will be back on Tuesday with the 10th day of the Diddy trial. When Croft left the witness stand and it was said that there'll be no more testimony. Judge Aaron Surian jokingly asked jurors if they had any objections. After a bit of laughter in the courtroom, Surian told jurors to go for a bike ride or watch the Knicks playoff games this weekend. Photos show damage to Kid Cudi's convertible. Prosecutors admitted photos into evidence today that showed burn damage to Kid Cudi's car, which he said was caused by a Molotov cocktail in 2012 after Combs learned Cassie was dating Kid Cudi. So here is the roof of his vehicle there. Then there's the inside. Thank God it was only that bad, right? Because we saw what Molotov cocktail would do or could do when it came to the Tesla riots and the Tesla protests, which, by the way, that brother who threw the Molotov cocktail in that Tesla did what everybody else wanted to do in protest of Elon Musk. He didn't do nothing wrong. You got the right to screw over the country. We got the right to respond. And what? And what? And what? Like I said, y'all celebrate a white man, Luigi Macron, unaliving somebody in the middle of the day, and y'all did a GoFundMe to bail him out of jail? No. Stop that. Top of the convertible roof, as well as scorch marks on the driver's seat, leather, and door. Bruh. Like, now I knew this testimony was going to be a part of the lawsuit. There was a clip from some idiotic waste of life from News Nation that said this has nothing to do with the case. It was in Cassie's lawsuit that got settled the next day. So, yes, indeed, there. Hotel manager says room marked out or after Combs stay, it required deep cleaning. Not deep cleaning. Oh, Lord. Frederick Semir, the hotel manager at El Metrage Hotel in Beverly Hills, testified that a room required deep cleaning after Combs stayed there. Semir told the court that Combs would stay under an alias. Notes marked in his hotel profile included that Combs used excessive amounts of oil and spilled candle wax on everything. The room had to be marked out, ordered for a deep cleaning after Combs left. Semir testified, and an additional $500 fee was charged for damage. Combs' defense did not get to cross-examine the hotel manager. Right, because at the beginning, middle of the day, they had a trail of how many times Diddy stayed at the El Mirage Hotel in Beverly Hills, and there's also a trail of how many $500 fees was paid. So, of course, you're not going to cross-examine the hotel manager because y'all will look dumb as shit. Duh. Here we go. Makeup artist testifies she gave a handful of interviews. Morales, under cross-examination, confirmed that she's done a handful of interviews in recent months as misconduct allegations against Combs surfaced. She acknowledged speaking on the record to well-known media figures such as Don Lemon and Piers Morgan in 2024 and participating in some documentaries about Combs. The defense sought to paint Morales as an attention seeker, but the effort seemed to fall flat. Right, because here's the thing, right? It's just like the Surviving R. Kelly docuseries that took him down on Lifetime, right? That makeup artist is a public figure. So if that's her testimony, if that's her emotions, if that's her space of what she went through, you have no right to dictate to her what she went through when the guy you're defending actually allegedly did it, right? So child. Cassie left with swelling and busted lip after going into a room with Combs, Morales says. Morales corroborates some prior testimony from Cassie Ventura, who alleged that Combs beat her in a hotel room after spotting her at an unexpected party at Prince's Los Angeles home. So wait a minute, bruh, like you were afraid of Prince too? Oh my Lord, you are jealous of anybody in existence, my Lord Jesus. The makeup artist told the court that she stayed behind to take a nap on the couch of Ventura's Beverly Hills hotel room that night and woke up to a commotion later. Morales testified that Ventura came in and went straight to the bedroom with Combs behind her. The couple shut the door to the bedroom, and Morales said she heard yelling and screaming before Combs left the hotel. She did not witness what occurred between the couple, but said Ventura had swollen eye, busted lip, and knots on her head after the incident. Morales testified that Ventura stayed with her for a few days after the incident, and a doctor friend came to check on the singer who refused to go to the emergency room. The incident left Morales in fear for her life, so she didn't call the police. She said she and Ventura saw each other a few times after that night, but never acknowledged the incident. She said, yeah, because Diddy utilizes control to be able to rule as he wants to. So if you commit the crime, you don't want witnesses to know that you did the crime, right? So government calls out sexual stereotypes conveyed in topless pictures. Prosecutors accused the defense of prompting sexual stereotypes by handing over topless pictures of Cassie Ventura. Combs' team gave the government pictures that showed when the next witness, the makeup artist Morales, did work for the defendant. Several of those pictures were of a topless Ventura, which drew Comey's ire. We don't want the suggestion of sexual stereotypes as if she's dressed like this for photo shoots and the public is more likely she considered sexual activity, Comey told the judge. Absolutely. Because, like, the defense is losing their rabbit ass mind. Their dumb ass leader, Marcafellio, said one bottle of baby oil goes a long way. And y'all do this after y'all didn't want to cross-examine her mother because y'all would look really stupid at going against a mother and her child. But now you're trying to weaponize the industry that she was in to save his ass. Y'all are shit. That defense team is shit. I hope y'all get everything coming to y'all after this case is over. Every motherfucking ass thing, okay? Okay. Because that's a dumbass defense. A dumbass defense. Judge Surian also questioned whether any of the topless photos were relevant, and defense lawyer Anna Safara responded, it shows that she had full and blossoming career. My Lord Jesus, that was controlled under Diddy. Have you not heard the testimony? Miss Anna Safaro, my Lord Jesus. And this is the team that you got, Diddy? This is the smart crack whip of a team that you got? What? Okay, so if Beyonce, right, if Jill Scott, if Haley Bailey, if any other black woman did photo shoots, that means that they consented to sexual activity? What the fuck is wrong with you, Anna Estefar? I hope you don't have any daughters. God forbid if you do. Because if this is how you believe women move, that says a lot about your motherhood. If you are a mother child. Samarian allowed the defense to use some of the images, but not the topless ones. Thank you, Judge Samarian, for having class when the defense is trash. Or moves like trash, rather. Makeup artist Maya Morales to take the witness stand. Maya Morales and makeup artist Cassie Ventura mentioned in her testimony is expected to take the witness stand when the court resumes after lunch. Last week, Ventura told the court, that Morales stayed behind to nap as she and her friends went to a last-minute party at Prince's home. But Ventura rushed out when she saw Combs, whom she said she did speak to before going to the party. According to Ventura, Combs tracked her down and beat her in another room while Morales was in the vicinity. Ventura told the court that she then stayed with Morales for a few days as her injuries healed. Government and judge livid over sexual questions. Away from the ears of the jurors, Judge Samarian chastised the defense for asking Kid Cudi about any sex he might have had with Cassie Ventura. Assistant U.S. Attorney Maureen Coleman called defense lawyer Steele's line of questioning outrageous and said, "We're shocked that the defense spoke about sexual activity with this witness." The judge agreed. And said the line was clear and crossed. Mr. Steele, you knew the rule and you did anyway. Samarian said it's going to happen again. No, Steele replied. There should have been a penalty for Steele. that would have hurt the defense and Diddy. No, you don't get to do that. If the line is there, you cross it. No, there's consequences for what the fuck you do. This team that Diddy got is shit, stupid, and out of their rabbit ass mind. And y'all have careers? These dumb fucks have careers, but yet content creators like me and other people can't get into a room for a meeting? Oh my Lord Jesus. My Lord, my Lord, my Lord. Kid Cudi's testimony concludes, and court goes so much. Kid Cudi's off the witness stand is not expected to return. So there's Kid Cudi there, and there is somebody from TMZ. Now, if you're wondering, Bray, why do they have a Fox jacket on? Because Fox owns TMZ, the TV rights to TMZ. Okay, so I just wanted to just say that. Okay. Judge Samir instructed everyone to go to lunch and return at 1 p.m. Eastern, giving everyone roughly 45 minutes to break. Kid Cudi testifies that he had to break away from Cassie as drama was getting out of hand. Kid Cudi said he and Cassie needed to stop seeing each other due to the blowback of events that seemed to unfold. The drama was too out of hand, and to give her some space, the witness said of them pumping the brakes on any possible relationship. And I'm just like, dude, you really do look back a lot. These court sketch are a shot to them. They give a very beautiful, detailed summary of what's happening in the courtroom. By the way, Law and Crime has taken each day of testimony and put it through artificial intelligence, where you see everybody in the courtroom, because obviously, because this is a federal case, there is no cameras and no audio allowed in court. Cassie was worried and shaken up over Combs, Kid Cudi says. Cassie was worried that Combs would go to Kid Cudi's home and appeared to be shaken about Combs' discovery of her relationship with Kid Cudi, the rapper testified. Prosecutor Emily Johnson took over Kid Cudi's questioning after the defense, asking what Cassie told him about Combs' abuse. Kid Cudi told the court that Cassie informed him that Combs would hit and sometimes kick her. Which, let's go back up for that idiotic waste of a life on News Nation who said that this had nothing to do with anything. The makeup artist says she did not witness what occurred between the couple, but said Ventura had swollen eye, busted lip, and knots on her head after the incident. Which would then go right to what Kid Cudi said here about that Combs would hit and sometimes kick her. Kid Cudi agrees he and Combs met over both of them being played by Cassie. Interesting. Defense attorney Brian Steele asked Kid Cudi about the meeting he had with Combs, characterizing it as about a relationship where both men were played. Cudi agreed with Steele and responded true when Steele asked if the person who played both men was Cassie. Steele also asked Kid Cudi if Cassie was living two different lives, to which the rapper responded that she was. Really, Brian Steele? Really? Child, you might be related to Stormy Steele. Y'all steal people's spaces to be able to be free, with them standing in their truth and owning their truth and allowing them to move forward. So, child, I just can't do it. You're going to blame Kid Cudi, or you're going to utilize Kid Cudi to try to paint out Cassie as if she was a lie and she was a cheat, and nobody wants her anymore, to use Angela Bassett's words there. The intimate life of Cassie and Kid Cudi ruled to be out of bounds. U.S. District Judge Aaron Surin appeared to shut down defense efforts to get into the deeply private details of Ventura and Kid Cudi's relationship. When Combs attorney Brian Steele cross-examination asked if he and Ventura ever had consensual sexual relations, the government objected and both sides met. The judge for sidebar away from jurors. When that meeting broke up, Steele went on to another line of questions. Combs apologized for years after off-put meeting. Kid Cudi said Combs' calmness during their meeting after the car fire was off-putting. Kid Cudi told court at the end of the meeting, he said he shook hands with Combs and asked Combs what they were going to do about his car. Combs told Kid Cudi he didn't have any idea what he was talking about. The rapper testified. Really, bro? Really? Really? So you just pretend that you don't know not a damn thing. But yet the evidence is now in a federal trial where your ass could be locked away for the rest of your life. You could die in jail. You're the smart one, Diddy. You're the smart one here, my Lord Jesus. Combs then asked if they were cool. Cudi told the court, but Cudi responded that Combs marked his car a few years after the meeting. Cudi testified Combs gave a general apology for the past. It was the last thing he expected to hear from Combs, Cudi said. Witness compares Combs to a Marvel supervillain. Not Kang the Conqueror. It was right there. What did you want me to do, huh? What did you want me to do? What did you want me to do? Jesus Christ. Kid Cudi recalled thinking Combs was like a comic book bad guy shortly after the witness car had been torched in an attack he blamed on the defendant. The pair agreed to see each other at a Los Angeles hotel meeting room, and Combs was already there by the time Kid Cudi arrived. The witness said Combs was calmly looking out the window with his hands behind his back, looking like a Marvel supervillain. Kid Cudi said, and Marvel's like, how did we get this? You know what would have been crazy if Kid Cudi said that he has the energy of Kang the Conqueror, the laughs that would have been elicited from the courtroom, because as you know, Kang the Conqueror was played by Jonathan Majors, who was also in a DV case. After the audio that came out, Jonathan Majors saying that I accosted you, he and Megan Good got married. So just bringing it into context, not shading, dragging, or trying to be Judge Your Executioner or Megan Good and, Jonathan Majors, but hey, it is public knowledge. Okay, moving on. Tense moment in court as defense objects to Kid Cudi connected Combs to car fire. Excuse me. What? Oh, my Lord Jesus. The defense is funny. Very, very, very funny. There was a hot moment in court when Kid Cudi was asked why he requested to meet with Combs after his car was set on fire. The rapper responded that he reached out because he knew Combs was involved in the fire. Combs' defense objected to Kid Cudi's speculation, and his answer was struck from the record. Was it struck from the record because the defense doesn't want that to be added, or what? Because it was in Cassie's lawsuit, right? And the pictures were shown in court. Ooh, this defense team is looking stupid. That's because they are stupid. That's because they live stupidly. Judge Sumerian denied a request for attorneys to sidebar, and the prosecution continues to question Kid Cudi. Kid Cudi is comfortable, and matter of fact, in his testimony, Kid Cudi doesn't appear to be nervous or stressed at all on the witness stand. Answer questions with a very matter-of-fact tone. The rapper seems comfortable and speaking in a conversational manner as he relates his past interactions with Combs. Combs calmly listening to Kid Cudi's testimony. Wait, did you say Combs and calmly in the same sentence? Oh, my Lord Jesus. Wow. Combs appeared to be calmly taking in Kid Cudi's testimony without showing much emotion, like he has a choice. At times, he sat back in his chair at the defense table with his arms and his legs crossed. As Kid Cudi described wild confrontations with the defendant, Combs wore his cream-colored top and khaki pants for today. Molotov cocktail set Kid Cudi's car aflame. He said Kid Cudi's car caught fire in his driveway one day in 2012 while Cudi said he was about 45 minutes away from home. The rapper testified that his dog sitter called to tell him what was happening, and he rushed home. A friend sent him photos that showed the top of his Porsche opening where a Molotov cocktail was thrown in. Kid Cudi said prosecutors showed the photos of the car in court and had Kid Cudi describe them. Cassie testified that Combs threatened her, Kid Cudi, saying that Combs wanted to set fire to Kid Cudi's car in the man's driveway. She also told the court that Combs assured it that it would not be by his hands, and he would not be in the country when it happened. Ooh, my Lord Jesus. My Lord, my Lord, my Lord. This is crazy. Combs allegedly broke into Kid Cudi's home. Kid Cudi recalled how angry he was when Combs allegedly broke into his home in the Hollywood Hills. So you mean tell me the defense got upset of Kid Cudi accusing Diddy of putting a Molotov cocktail in his car to blow up Kid Cudi's car, but then Cassie told Kid Cudi about what happened, and then Combs allegedly broke into Kid Cudi's home? Like I said, the defense is looking really, they is smart, they is kind, and they is importantly stupid. Kid Cudi recalled how angry he was when Combs allegedly broke into his home in the Hollywood Hills. The Grammy-winning rapper said Combs was remarkably calm when he called to confront him. He said, "What's up?" I said, "Mother Ucker, are you in my house?" He said, "I am here waiting for you." What were you waiting on him for? Like, what the? But yet Cassie is not a victim. I can't. Oh, my Lord Jesus. He told the court that he wanted to fight Combs, but reminded himself that he didn't know who Combs might have with him. That's facts. It's better to be still than to lose it, and then you lose yourself. Combs' employee told Kid Cudi that Combs was in his house. Kid Cudi testified that he got a call from Ventura in December 2011 saying that Combs had found out about the couple and that she asked him to pick her up. She was nervous and told Kid Cudi that Combs was abusive. He said once Ventura was with him, Kid Cudi told the court he took her to Sunset Marquis to keep her safe and away from Combs. At one point, he said he received a call letting him know that Combs and associate were at Kid Cudi's home. Cudi said the call was made by Combs' employee at the time, Capricorn Clark, and Ventura was with her on speakerphone. So Capricorn Clark, who's going to testify in this trial, made the call to Kid Cudi to say that Combs was at his house. But yet they denied all the allegations, though. Okay. Kid Cudi said he and Cassie Ventura started dating during break in her relationship with Combs. Kid Cudi briefly met Ventura at an event in 2008, but they didn't start to date until 2011. Testified, according to him, Ventura was having problems with Combs at the time, and to his knowledge, the couple were not dating when Ventura and Kid Cudi got together. Debate over whether Kid Cudi can talk about his dog get some laughs. Earlier this month, before the jury was seated, the attorneys had some hearings debate over whether Kid Cudi can testify about his dog's behavioral changes after a 2011 break-in at his home. Defense attorney Brian Still told Judge Arn Samiri that the government wanted Kid Cudi to testify that his dog was traumatized after being put behind a closet door in December of 2011. Prosecutor Emily Johnson argued that the observations about the dog are relevant to the break-in. He's not going to testify to what the dog thought, Samiri said, eliciting laughter from those in the courtroom. Kid Cudi can testify about the dog, the judge decided, but only in broad terms, as Johnson knowing that the dog is no longer with us. My Lord Jesus. The defense is really losing their mind. Now they want the testimony about how a dog handled a break-in. What y'all got somebody from the animal plant coming to the trial? Okay. Kid Cudi takes the stand to testify against Combs. Scott Cudi, also known by his stage name Kid Cudi, has taken the witness stand. The rapper had a brief relationship with Combs' former girlfriend Ventura in December 2011 that prompted a threat of violence and blackmail from Combs. She testified last week. Kid Cudi is expected to confirm much of Ventura's prior testimony in regard to Combs' violent threats against him. There's Kid Cudi there arriving at court today. assistant doesn't remember if he told security about apple throwing incident. Combs' former assistant doesn't remember if he told home security about a violent incident with Combs pelting decorative apples at a woman. Now, for those of you who don't know decorative apples, you know how like when you go to, open house and you see the fake apples to simulate what home could look like. It was those decorative apples, and those can hurt. For real, I'm just saying. Kaplan testified that he had no recollection of telling anyone on the security team about the incident, which he described under direct examination. Defense attorney Machiavelli also asked Kaplan whether he was ever personally threatened by Combs. Though Kaplan said his job was threatened by Combs frequently, he said he was never subjected to threats of physical violence from his former employer. So here's George Kaplan there. Biggie Smalls' birthday, a company holiday. The witness knows that the late rapper Christopher Wallace, better known as Biggie Smalls or the Notorious B.I.G., was born on May 21st because that date was a Combs company holiday. The defense lawyer FLO asked Kaplan if he would have been working yesterday if he was still employed by Combs. Kaplan said no, because Combs gave everyone the day off from work to mark the 1972 date when Wallace was born. The 24-year-old Brooklyn rapper was powed down Los Angeles on March 9th, 1997. Working for Combs was a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, though he didn't always like how Combs acted. Kaplan described his time working as the mogul's personal assistant as a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. Kaplan told the court during cross-examination, Combs that let me make sure I'm reading this right. Kaplan told the court during cross-examination that Combs pushed him to depths that he didn't even know he was capable of. And that Kaplan's friends described it as his Harvard University. He described his work setting up Combs Mills, scheduled traveling, planning a company offsite as a part of his administrative duties. It appears that Combs' defense is trying to undermine the government's case on Combs' racketeering charge, which asserts that Combs used his business as a criminal enterprise. Well, I mean, when you can, be out the country and tell somebody to put a Molotov cocktail in somebody's car, that would definitely be utilizing your business as a criminal enterprise, I would like to think. Violence prompted former assistant to quit in 2015, he says. George Kaplan left his job as Combs' assistant in December 2015 because he was not comfortable with the physical behavior he witnessed over the months in his role. He said it was a challenging decision, but that he knew it was the right thing to do. In addition to the plane incident, he said he witnessed and attending to Ventura's wounds at a different time. Kaplan told the court he saw Combs throwing decorative apples at another woman. The alleged incident occurred in Miami between Combs and a woman named Gina. Gina is supposed to be testifying a little bit later on in this trial. Kaplan testified that he saw an angry Combs throw 3 of the apples at Gina as she tried to shield herself. Kaplan said he heard a commotion later that night with screaming back and forth after Kaplan said he gave Combs a medicine bag. Others have testified that Combs had a Louis Vuitton med bag full of illicit drugs. The former assistant said he put in his resignation in September 2015, but that the reason he gave Combs was that his father was sick with cancer. Combs was very gracious at the time. He told the court, also testifying that he has compartmentalized his experience working for Combs. I would imagine you would need 1 year of therapy for every year that you were working for him. I mean, I can only imagine how the bill was for therapy. Ventura's bruised face needed immediate attention. The witness said he once had to rush out of Combs' home to buy health and beauty items to cover up nasty bruises on Ventura's face. Kaplan recalled the incident in Los Angeles in 2015 when he said he saw a visibly upset Ventura with bruising under her right eyebrow that prompted Combs to order him to get over-the-counter lotions and other remedies to mask discoloration. Kaplan told the jurors. The witness said he specifically remembered buying witch hazel. Isn't anybody seeing this? Former assistant says Ventura cried for help during incident with Combs on private plane. George Kaplan, Combs' former assistant, told the court today that he witnessed a physical altercation between Combs and Ventura in 2015 during a private plane ride to Las Vegas. Kaplan testified that he was seated at a table on the plane and that he heard glass shatter behind him. Then he saw Combs standing on Ventura with a whiskey glass, who was on her back with her legs out trying to create space. And people are defending Diddy. Like I said, would you want this to happen to your mother, to your daughters, to your wife, to your grandmother, to your cousins, to your nieces, to your aunties, to any woman in your life that matters to you? I'm just wondering. Just asking questions. Just asking questions. Just asking questions. If it doesn't apply, let it fly. But if you let apply, if it doesn't apply, let it fly. But if you let it fly, it must apply. Oh my Lord! He heard a scuffle as Ventura screamed. Isn't anybody seeing this? Before hearing more glass crashing, Kaplan testified. The former assistant said he was only 23 years old at the time he told the court, and security did not intervene. He said Combs came up to sit in the plane's cabin, but told Ventura to stay in the back where a bedroom was located behind a partition. Court is in session. Court is now in session, marking the 9th day of the Combs trial. George Kaplan returns to the stand. George Kaplan, a former personal assistant working for Combs, has returned to the witness stand to continue his testimony. Prosecutor Maureen Comey will be questioning him. Who is Kid Cudi? Grammy Award-winning rapper Kid Cudi is expected to testify today. The 41-year-old, whose real name is Scott Miss Cudi. I'm sorry, I'll keep saying Miss Cudi, but it's Miss Cudi. Is expected to testify about his romantic relationship with Cassie Ventura over a decade ago, including the allegation that Combs blew up his car. Cudi's testimony will be key for the prosecution as it tries to bolster its charges that Combs engaged in racketeering and sex trafficking. Cudi first gained attention in 2008 with the release of his mixtape, A Kid Named Cudi. He is known for his hits Pursuit of Happiness and Day and Night. Cassie Ventura testified last week that Combs kicked her after finding out that she was cheating on him with Cudi in 2011. Once again, y'all were on a break and you engage in the swinger lifestyle, which means y'all can swap out partners. I mean, you had free calls where Cassie hired escorts and that you were supposed to walk in on them and you entertained yourself while watching them. So, like, what the hell? Ventura's 2023 lawsuit alleges Combs told her at Paris Fashion Week in 2012 that he was going to blow up Cudi's car after learning about the affair. Around that time, the lawsuit alleges Cudi's car exploded in his driveway. Here's a recap of yesterday. A federal agent, a former executive assistant, and a clinical forensic psychologist testified at the trial yesterday. Garrett Gannon, a federal special agent who planned the search of Combs' Miami home last year, walked jurors through photos of items seized at the property. Among the items were cell phones stuffed in a designer boot, a designer bag filled with drugs, including ketamine and MDMA, dozens of bottles of lubricant, and a .45 caliber hand pal in a red suitcase. Dawn Hughes, a clinical and forensic psychologist, testified about the impact of abuse trauma. She told jurors that victims of domestic violence or DV often stay with their abusers, and sometimes they disclose what they have experienced. The prosecution called Hughes to attempt to refute the defense suggestion that Ventura and other women could have left Combs. George Kaplan, a former assistant to Combs, who was granted immunity to testify, but didn't cover him under perjury. Just wanted to add that to the time. I told jurors that the music mogul threatened his job monthly. He told jurors how he bought supplies for Combs' hotel room, including candles, baby oil, and lubricant. Kid Cudi taking center stage today. This was at 6:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. The Grammy-winning rapper Kid Cudi will be the biggest name yet to take the witness stand in Combs' trial. The 41-year-old's name has been mentioned several times in testimony as Cudi's ties to Combs' former girlfriend Cassie Ventura allegedly sent the defendant into violent tantrums. Kid Cudi, whose real name is Scott Miss Cudi, is set to testify once Kaplan is finished. After Cudi finishes his testimony, makeup artist Maya Morales, former Combs Enterprises CFO Tony Abrams, and John Croft are the next on the witness list to take the stand. Former assistant back on the stand this morning. The 9th day of testimony in Sean Combs' federal trial is set to begin this morning. George Kaplan, the rapper's one-time assistant, will continue to be questioned. Kaplan on Wednesday delivered an insider's view of Combs' frantic celebrity life. According to Kaplan, Combs was a difficult boss who made exacting demands and regularly threatened to fire him. So that is day 9 of the Diddy trial. Of course, Friday will not be court will not be in session, and Monday court will not be in session. So Tuesday we'll be doing day 10 coverage of the Diddy trial, so everybody can have a good Memorial Day weekend. We are going to take a little commercial break. When we come back, I have a video, some articles, and then we'll wrap up here with day 9 of the Diddy trial. Kid Cudi, we are live on tour. Like, comment, share, subscribe. We'll be back right after this.
Beyond this gate, find gardens green and epic worlds to fill your dreams.
Sorry, folks, there's a breaking development. There's something down on the field.
I see that too. What is that?
Looks like a koala or a dog or a...
They're all out there right now. They're trying to catch it. They're having a real hard time. They've got trash cans.
This guy's got no chance.
I think they got it. Nope.
Now he's gone and driving a cart. Uh-oh, watch out for the goal. Oh. Oh, that thing is indestructible. Sorry.
When we start a project, we always start with story. That story is key. So we began with the story of the Waturi people. The myth of the Waturi people is that long ago, they sat out on their outrigger canoes looking for a new home. There was a legend that said they could only find this new home with the help of this mini golden-finned fish called Kanuku. And they searched across Pacifica and Polynesia, and they visited all these islands. They went to Bali and Tahiti and went as far as Rapa Nui, Easter Island. Along the way, they made friends, collected sort of the culture, and they sailed on and on and on, and they almost to the edge of the world. There, to their amazement, was Kanuku. And she turned to the people and said, "You are ready." Turned and swam away. They followed, and within a day, they caught sight of this smoking mountain on the horizon, which was Volcano Bay. And it was pristine, beautiful, lush, everything that they would want in a home. And that's the backstory that informs everything we do in our design. The idea here is to create the best experience. We know what our guests want. They want the thrill and excitement of our theme parks, but they also want a place where they can relax and chill out and feel pampered. Nobody wants to stand in line. And so we said, let's get rid of them. Nobody wants to carry rafts up a ride tower all the way to the top. So we said, let's do that for you. Exhilaration, and excitement, and relaxation. That's what you're gonna get at Volcano Bay.
I'm loving it. Y'all right back. Welcome back in Braylon's virtual tour live. Glad to have y'all here. Now, of course, as you all know, I always bring in a video so that way you guys can get some dynamic energy of just the magnitude of what's happening within this trial. So here we go from ABC News.
Another star witness taking the stand in the Sean Diddy Combs sex trafficking and racketeering trial. Scott Biscotti, also known as rapper Kid Cudi, just finished testifying about what he says happened with Combs in 2011 and 2012. Biscotti had a brief relationship with Cassie Ventura during this time, and Combs allegedly made threats against him because of it. Cudi testifying that he believes Combs actually broke into his house and testified that a few months later, a Molotov cocktail was placed on his Porsche, damaging his car. He told the jury he reached out to Combs after his car caught fire and described him with his hands behind his back like a Marvel supervillain. Combs has pleaded not guilty to all charges, and his defense team says any sexual encounters were all consensual. Legal contributor Eric Faddis joins me now for more. So, Eric, what do you think? How does Ms. Scuddy's testimony impact Combs' arson charges and the racketeering conspiracy counts that he faces, you think?
Yeah, Kira, I think we're firmly moving into RICO territory here. We're getting past some of the sex trafficking allegations, talking about a criminal enterprise that was allegedly engaged in committing crimes. And so Kid Cudi's testimony goes to trying to prove some of those predicate offenses. He says that Diddy and his team burglarized his home after Diddy found out that he was dating Cassie Ventura, and then shortly thereafter blew up his vehicle, which goes to arson. And so that was really the thrust of the testimony. That was the prosecution's purpose for putting him on. There were some points scored by defense as well. It was some colorful testimony.
So there was also a moment where the defense team was worried about Ms. Cudi talking about, was it trauma to his dog, what his dog faced when he believed Combs broke into his house, because there may be dog lovers on the jury and this could influence how they feel about their decision. What do you make of that?
Desperate.
Yeah, Kira, what they were talking about is a rule under the law that prevents any side from kind of inflaming the passions of the jury, from unduly prejudicing in an unfair way the defendant, but by bringing out testimony that isn't necessarily central to any of the charges, but could really, make somebody cringe and say, "Oh my God, that's terrible." And that's why defense wanted to keep out that information about the dog, because it's not really central to any of the charges or anything, and it really has the possibility of rubbing this jury the wrong way and causing them to kind of hate Diddy and possibly using that as a potential basis to convict him.
One more question, Eric. George Kaplan, the first person granted immunity in this case, wrapped up his testimony about working for Combs. What stood out to you from that testimony?
Nothing. It was not overly compelling for one side or the other, and that's been a bit of a trend, I think. In my appraisal, some of the prosecution's case has been rather underwhelming. Looked really good on paper, and they talked a big game, but having him come in there, he talked about being involved in like setting up things and having bags with party favors and what have you. That really qualifies as a predicate offense under the RICO Act, and I imagine the jury was not overly moved one way or the other.
All right, Eric Fanis, appreciate your time, Eric, and also watching the trial along with us. You can catch our daily show, too, called Burden of Proof, the case against Diddy, airing nightly at 5:30 Eastern right here on ABC News Live. Also, be sure to check out our podcast, Bad Rap, the case against Diddy. We've got daily updates there as well.
Butterfly MX is...
Don't know much for that. All right, y'all, here we go. Some of you may know, some of you may not know. But right here from People Magazine, people.com, judge says Diddy's trial should wrap up by July 4th. They said that the trial should last about 8. Hey, my thoughts. Good to see you, my friend. I hope all is well. Y'all, I am mentally recovering from Epic Universe. I was on for 5 hours last night live, and then this morning for an hour. So I broadcasted live for 6 hours about Universal's Epic Universe. So good to see you, my friend. Glad to have you here. So for those of you who don't know, they said that Diddy's trial should be lasting 8 to 10 weeks. But the judge wants to wrap up the trial by July 4th. So this is going to be a moment in time, right, of where were you when the Diddy verdict was reached and was given, right? And whatever the verdict is going to be the talk of every 4th of July barbecue, okay? Even if you don't believe in celebrating the 4th of July, damn it, you're going to have a 4th of July barbecue to watch the verdict, okay? This is going to be prime time television, okay? Hey, listen, barbecues are going to start. Wait, I'm trying to think, because court ends every day at 3 o'clock anyway. So you'll probably have to start the barbecue at what? Maybe at 1 o'clock, which, 1 o'clock isn't too bad to start barbecue. You gotta get up early and get the hot dogs and hamburgers and bratwurst, sweet baby barbecue sauce, the Kingsford charcoal, and everything in between. Get some Sprite and tea, which I had that today. Sprite, you did your good work on that one. But believe me, every 4th of July barbecue, and people who don't believe 4th of July will be having barbecue verdict watch parties. Believe me, you. And of course, y'all know I'm following this all the way to the end. So on July 4th, I will be here live giving you the verdict. And hopefully I'll have some food and we'll all watch it together because that is a Friday. So yes, indeed there. All right, let's get to the game and make it do what it do. As next witnesses are revealed, this comes from People Magazine, people.com. Sean Diddy Combs sex trafficking and racketeering trial wrapped up its second week on Thursday. Like I said, there will not be a day in court on Friday or Monday for Memorial Day weekend. So everybody will be back to covering this on Tuesday. Need to know, Sean Diddy Combs sat a few feet from Kid Cudi on Thursday as the rapper testified. Judge Arnson has given a date by which he says the trial must wrap up. Must wrap up. must wrap up, which is probably, again, the defense a little worried. I don't think the prosecution is worried at all. The trial of Sean Diddy Combs has concluded its second week after jurors heard from his former assistant, his former girlfriend, Cassandra Cassie Ventura's mother, a makeup artist, and perhaps notably rapper Kid Cudi. Kid Cudi, whose legal name is Miss Cudi, testified on Thursday, May 22nd, which is today, about the brief period when he dated Ventura while she was going through a rough patch in her volatile relationship with Combs. Other witnesses included a makeup artist who worked with Combs and Ventura, and Combs' former assistant, George Kaplan, who appeared for a second day after taking the stand for the first time on Wednesday. Those set to testify next week include Captain Clark, a woman who was once Diddy's assistant, who made the call to Kid Cudi about Diddy is at Kid Cudi's home. Yeah, that testimony should be interesting for sure, as well as representatives from the Los Angeles Police Department and Los Angeles Fire Department. For those of you who may not have remembered, there was a raid in Miami and there was a raid in Los Angeles. So should be interesting testimony on the raid in Los Angeles, California. Clark's name came up during Miss Cudi's testimony on Thursday as he recounted a 2011 incident where he alleges Combs broke into his house. For his testimony, Clark had told him she was waiting outside his house while Combs and associate were inside. Clark seemed very scared when she tipped Miss Cudi off. He told the jury on Thursday. Let's see here. The trial is set to continue after the long weekend, and Judge R. Samir said it should wrap by July 4th. Judge Samir instructed the jury to follow the requirements over the weekend. He suggested a distraction for them. Do not talk to anyone about the case. He told jurors before dismissing them telling them instead to watch the Knicks avenge their game one loss. I love how he is supporting the Knicks through his closing statements at the end of court. Every day. Combs has pleaded not guilty to charges of sex trafficking, racketeering, transportation to engage in prostitution. Now, here is something interesting here from News Nation. Why has Usher Steve Harvey been mentioned around Diddy's case? Diddy allegedly gained guardianship of Usher when he was young. Steve Harvey deleted a tweet from 2017 about Combs, a report, and Wendy Williams claimed she was fired as radio host for what she said about Combs. No, that's a fact. It was to the point where it was years later that Diddy was on the Wendy Williams show, because the group Total, Wendy Williams said some things about Total, and Total did not like it. Pulled up to the radio station to try to handle Wendy, and also to, Wendy, did what we're doing now, but she was a little bit greasier, a little bit bolder, a little bit under the collar. But she didn't care about the collar. She just cut it off and just showed herself socially, everybody in the culture, not physically, obviously. Several celebrities have already testified in Sean Diddy Combs' trial, including Kid Cudi on Thursday and Cassandra Cassie Ventura near the start of his trial. Other celebrity names have been circulating online and on social media surrounding the trial, despite not having been in court. Those include Usher, Steve Harvey, Wendy Williams. What connections do they have to Combs? Usher witnessed Diddy hit Cassie, Don Richard claimed. Don Richard, a former member of Danny Kane and of Diddy Dirty Money, testified that Usher had seen Combs punch Ventura hard in 2010 at a restaurant in West Hollywood. Let me see here. There we go. On May 19th, Richard told the court Mr. Combs punched Cassie in the stomach. They were having a private conversation and he punched her in the stomach. She immediately leaned over and left. Richard also claimed that Neo, record executive Jimmy Levine, and Big Dad Kane were there as well. I recall an interview that Usher did with Howard Stern on Sirius XM, and Usher said that he's seen some stuff. Usher come into this trial? We don't know. Richard then said what she and Ventura had been. Richard then said that she and Ventura had been about to leave when another altercation took place between Combs and Ventura. We got in the car and headed back to her house. Combs grabbed her, slapped her, popped her in the mouth, and told her to shut the fuck up. Everyone was quiet for the rest of the ride, she told jurors. You know, I wonder if any of them just... email to self or Dropbox block. I'm just saying, you know. Maybe, did they go to a zip file maybe too? Who knows? When Usher was 13 years old, Combs became a single guardian. According to Newsweek, Usher has allegedly talked about being exposed to a lot at a young age. When being with Combs in 2004, he had told Rolling Stone that Combs showed him a totally different set of sex specifically. Yeah, Usher might be coming to New York, y'all. Of Combs' home, Usher had said there were always girls around. You open the door, you see somebody doing, or several people in a room having an orgy. Child, Usher saw a freak off at 13 years old. Allegedly. You never knew what was going to happen. The Daily Mail reported that in 2013, Usher spoke at his 35th birthday celebration about Combs, saying, I was introduced to everything by Puff Daddy when I was only 15. Parties, women, sex, and drugs. I've had a taste of it, but I never let it take me over. He also allegedly said that he would give anyone else the advice that Combs had given him. During a 2016 Howard Stern interview, which I told you guys about, Usher talked about Combs' parties, which were reportedly nicknamed Puffy Flavor Camp. He said there were very curious things taking place at Combs' parties, and he said he would have never sent his kids to one of the parties. Usher has not said anything publicly about Combs' current trial, but might have to. Steve Harvey deleted tweet about Diddy from 2017. According to Grazia, Steve Harvey, who is the host of Family Feud and Just Steve Harvey on ABC, deleted a 2017 tweet that had shown support for Combs. Harvey allegedly deleted the tweet after Combs had been arrested, with the original tweet saying, "My brother at Diddy is doing a world of good for these kids." It's not clear what this was referencing, but Braylon report it could have been the $1 million that Combs donated to Howard University in 2016. This donation created the Sean Combs Scholarship Fund, which helps students who couldn't pay tuition. There's Steve Harvey as Judge Steve Harvey on ABC. However, in 2024, Combs' honorary doctorate was revoked by the university and his $1 million donation was returned. University officials also terminated his pledge agreement. It had also been rumored, in 2019, that Combs dated Harvey's stepdaughter, Lori. Yes, and also, too, the son. So, yeah, the son and the father dated Lori Harvey. Brazil reported that the two, along with her father, were seen in Italy together. Rumors also linked Lori to Justin Combs' son and Diddy, which she denied both rumors years later. Allegedly, but we'll go along with that for now. Wendy Williams claimed she was fired for saying Diddy was gay. Since the start of Combs' trial, users on social media have started sharing old clips of Wendy Williams. In those clips, she made several claims against Combs, including that she was fired from a radio job because she said he was gay. Williams claimed that she was fired from Hot 97 in 1998 after she said she believed that Combs was gay. Williams then reportedly said she had a photo of Combs with another man. Now, it has been said throughout the years that Combs likes cream sticks in his Krispy Kreme box. Okay. That's what he likes to order for Krispy Kreme. Cream sticks. Okay. Moving on. All right. According to the Daily Mail, Gene Deal, Combs' former security guard, seemed to confirm what Williams said in 2022. Deal had told Vibe Diddy got one of the hottest DJs off Hot 97 because she wanted to put a picture up of him getting his pants pulled down. Williams went on to host the Wendy Williams show and continued sharing claims about Combs. In 2024, she told the Daily Mail, "You know how I feel about that. It's about time to see this video on TV of Cassie getting pummeled. It was just horrific." Can you imagine if Wendy Williams came in to the court in New York? Like, listen, first of all, we need Wendy out this guardianship so she can live her life. But also, number two, we need Wendy in the courtroom to give testimony, okay? She is a very important witness. She is a very important steward, and she is a very important guardian over pop culture. This is very necessary for the testimony of this trial. Braylon, what do you think? What do you think should be done with Diddy? Incarcerate or rehabilitate? There's no way in hell you can rehabilitate that shit. And I mean, this is just week 2. Okay. Child, listen. Lori and Dee were sure dressed like a couple, and Daddy Steve and Mama Marjorie, where they're looking at all there in the thick of it, in my opinion. Well, like I said, I can only imagine what the Steve Harvey Morning Show has been like. Now, I haven't listened to the Steve Harvey Morning Show since the Shirley Strawberry letter of Shirley Strawberry and Ernesto, but I am sure that they haven't really talked about the Diddy trial too much because, sir. Yes, indeed. So with that being said, I'm going to turn on my camera now because we done a show for over an hour. Yes, we have. Oh, my Lord Jesus. My Lord. So like I said, the trial will resume on Tuesday, so no trial. So no trial day on Friday or Monday. So that way everybody can enjoy their Memorial Day weekend. Yes, indeed. Oh, my Lord Jesus. My Lord. Man. A lot going on in the world. Today. There are some real sick people in this world. Child, you ain't never lied. You ain't never, ever lied on that. My thoughts. Child, listen. By the way, y'all know I normally don't go live on Thursdays, as you all know, but because this is the trial, we are covering it every single day. By the way, I have to say, I really like the format that we flow in here because, like I said, I'm not Pam Esquire. I'm not the lead attorney. I'm not an attorney. Go to those people who do that on a regular basis. And they don't just talk about it, they be about it, okay? Because they can prove their worth. They have more ways than one. With that being said, we cover it socially over here. But I really like how we do it. I give you all the updates from NBC News, then I add a video, then some articles, and then we're done. So that way you have it short, succinct, and to the point. By the way, y'all, speaking of things being live and stuff, there is another show we have for you all this evening. Very excited about this particular show right here. So on the morning edition of Wednesday's show, at the end of the show, we talked about, as our positive news story, the Uno Social Club, right? And I had a bit of a media brain blast. And so tonight I'm going to break this down live for you all about how this could be Mattel's new family entertainment center brand and franchise. So looking forward to that conversation happening at 8:30 p.m. Eastern, live right here on our channel. Nancy Grace was holding up a Tootsie Roll on her channel. She's too funny. Yeah, because somebody said that he had a Tootsie Roll down below, child. So yeah. But yes, indeed. So we're just here chilling out just for a little bit. Like I said, if you guys got any questions within reason, drop it in the chat below. I can only answer what I know. Okay, everything that I found is what I know. I am sticking to the prompt. Okay, that's it. That is all. And you know who I'm really am thinking about the most right now? I'm thinking about Toss Away K. Is she covering the Diddy trial? Because you know what happened last time when she tried to report, on some news, right? We all know, right? What happened. Listen, this is public knowledge, okay? I will let you go so you can get ready for your next life. Thank you, my friend. I appreciate you so much. I'm just going to chill out here until 1:20, and then at 1:20, I'll give you guys the daily mover, so that way we can have all the energy to get into this live. Y'all, I am so excited to bring this to y'all. Like I said, your brain was braining on the Wednesday morning edition of Braylon's Virtual Tour Live at the end of the show. And I'm like, nope, we got to break it down. We got to break it down. So very excited to bring this to you all live at 8:30 tonight. So very excited for that. One thing to know, two things for sure. You can never say that we run out of actual, factual, smacktual content over here. You can never say that. Because there's so much to talk about. What a shocker. What a shocker. Just saying. Anybody can try to pivot, but it takes somebody execute it. I'm just saying. So yeah, we'll wait right here at when we get to 1:20. Actually, let's take a little commercial break, and when we come back, we'll do the daily mover and then head on out of here. Here we go.
Good evening. My name is Mark Woodbury. I'm the chairman and CEO of Universal Destinations and Experiences. Well, we're finally here. Tomorrow we begin a new chapter at Universal Orlando Resort as we open Epic Universe. We built this place for you. I want to thank you, our fans, for your love of our stories, characters, and immersive experiences that inspired this incredible place. Epic Universe represents over 8 years of meticulous planning, immense creativity, and innovation, combined with unmatched craftsmanship and operational excellence on the part of thousands of people who have brought to life the stories and characters that live beyond each of Epic's portals. But it represents so much more. Your love of Universal and the deep connections we've shared together here in Orlando over the past 30 years inspired us to dream bigger and to push the boundaries to create something extraordinary for you and for generations of fans and families to come. And tomorrow, as we open Epic Universe, I can't wait for you to experience this place for yourself. Now it's your turn to step inside, to lose yourself, and to share this place with the ones you love most. As we open this park, we hope your world becomes a little more epic. Tomorrow, Epic Universe becomes yours.
Power 923 Jams and the Arkansas Minority Health Commission encourages you to take the COVID-19 vaccine to help keep you and your loved ones safe. Involved in our community, the People Station, Power 923 Jams. KIPR Pine Bluff, Little Rock, KFOG, Little Rock, a Cumulus Media Station. And now, back to the jams. Hip-hop. Drake.
Girls want girls where I'm from. Yeah, well, girls want girls where I'm
R&B.
J. Howell.
Just 'cause I love you and you love me.
And now, bumping back-to-back continuous music with another fresh new jam. Heard here first on the People Station, Power 923 Jams.
Prepare for a journey beyond imagination, beyond belief, beyond anything you've experienced before. Universal Epic Universe, a new theme park where you'll step through extraordinary portals to 5 immersive worlds. Prepare for a cosmic voyage of discovery, an isle of fire-breathing excitement, a shadowy world of monsters and mystery, new wonders in the wizarding world, and a new way to play. Plus the splendor of a magnificent resort hotel overlooking the park. It's all new excitement at Universal Orlando Resort. A week's worth of vacation thrills with 4 amazing theme parks, a variety of spectacular themed hotels, and incredible dining and entertainment. It's all at Universal Orlando Resort, where you'll find new adventures every day. Explore the astonishing worlds of Universal Epic Universe at Universal Orlando Resort.
I'm loving it.
All right, back. Welcome back into Braylon's Virtual Tour Live. Let me get the Daily Motivator up for you all, and then we'll head on out so that way I can rest. Because, oh, buddy boy, when I tell you the quiet part out loud of what Mattel is trying to plan, you're going to lose it. You're going to lose it. You're going to lose it. So, let's make it do what it do right here. What gets us into trouble is not what we don't know, is what we know for sure that just ain't so. Yogi Berra, very well said. There is time for Day Motivator for Thursday, May 22nd, 2025. Reciprocal respect. Be generous in giving respect where it's due. Be insistent and worthy of receiving respect in return. When you live with integrity and respect others, that obligation to expect it to be reciprocated. If it's not, then the most helpful action for everyone involved is for you to walk away. It does not benefit another person if you allow that person to act with disrespect toward you, and it certainly doesn't benefit you. Respect can only exist when it flows in both directions. Otherwise, you're left with intimidation and submission, and that's not a good situation. By making sure that your position is respected, you're empowered to offer your own respect. And by your genuine respect, by giving your genuine respect, you enable the other person to respect you. Because of its reciprocal nature, respect can be challenging and often uncomfortable to achieve, yet it's very much worth the work because it will serve as the basis for every other kind of achievement. Ralph Morrison. Well, let's talk about that reciprocal respect. You know, I'll just say this, right? I believe that when we are in the weeds of being upset, when we are in the weeds of not being heard, when we're in the weeds of being frustrated, we can do the most and we don't mean to, because we're just trying to be heard. And so you do need to say sorry. So I am sorry to that individual, right? That was just child. Braylon was fed up. And reciprocal respect is owning your shit, right? That's the first thing I want to tell you as I am looking at this here. Be generous and give respect where it's due. So the first thing I want to tell you is not everybody is worthy of your respect, especially when they are disrespectful to you. Now, I know we are told to love thy neighbor, but I think God needed to go back and, rewrite that rule of if our neighbor's not loving us, then we don't have to love on them. Okay. That's the first thing I want to tell you. Respect can only exist when it flows in both directions. You cannot be a part of a friendship, relationship, or what have you, where you're always giving, but they're not giving back to you. That is stupid, that is tiring, and that is tattered behavior. Because here's the thing. The more you empty out your cup and pour into theirs, the bigger chance they have to leave you dry and not care about how you recover. And like Bishop T. Jake said, some people were born as pint-sized capacities, right? And you were born on a 10-gallon level. I never forgot that when I heard it. I'm just like, you know what? Let the church say amen. There are some people that are at a pint-sized capacity and you don't need to be around. Because like I said before, God will remove you from people because of the conversations he did here, but he will put you around the right people because of the conversations that he did here. I'm going to say that 2 more times. God will remove you from people because of the conversations that he heard about you, but he will put you around the right people because of the conversations that he did hear about you. God will remove you away from people because of the conversations he heard about you, but will put you around the right people because of the conversations that he did hear about you. And finally, uncomfortable to achieve, yet is very much worth the work because it will serve as the basis for every other kind of achievement. I always say that the assignment is bigger than me when it comes to this channel, right? The assignment is bigger than you. The assignment is bigger than us, right? And when you are a king or queen moving in your purpose and not a prince or princess just doing anything for attention, how you focus and how you move about your vision determines the magnitude of the size of blessings or curses that come your way. So believe me, if somebody's not respecting you, don't let that disrespect cut you out of an opportunity that you need to respect, right? So if you lost your job, this, that, and the third, don't let that disrespect of them not appreciating you block you out from you being able to receive an opportunity where, guess what? That is the job you've been needing. And by you disrespecting, oh my God, this new job is this, that, and the third. Ho. The more you disrespect, the more you won't be respected, right? So my mom has always said, until we respect what we have, why would God give us more, right? So with that being said, right, it's time for the best outro on YouTube. Know what you do and do what you know. Never say one more special because you are always born a blessing. Trust you may not be where you want to be. By the end of it, you'll be where you need to be. Do what you've been chosen and do wise one thing. Call yourself. It's nothing to be chosen. One love, much love, all love. I have spent time with you. You have spent time with me. And hopefully by spending time together, we'll also be great together. And always remember, we're doing radio, television, YouTube, live your best life, or you are just seeing the end of someone's life in real time like Diddy. Make sure the replay is not just for you to watch it, not just for you to listen to it, but for you to want to experience it again. I love you. I value, I embrace you all. Always remember, see what you gotta give it, or see what you gotta give it, or see what you gotta give it. Whatever obstacles you have overcome, where successes you have achieved upon this particular day, I'm extremely proud of you. But no one else is proud of you. Be proud of your damn self. And finally, y'all, I am so happy. Yeah, I literally talked to my mom about this. I said, Mom, I am so happy that I am able to pay it forward, because when it came to, Universal's Epic Universe, and, when it comes to what we cover over here, I think about when I was a kid, and, I didn't know who was speaking up for me. I didn't know if there was any adults in the room. And now having this full circle moment of when I wasn't able to go to Nickelodeon Studios, right? And all you could see was Nickelodeon Studios on TV. Now there are little kids who want to go to, Epic Universe, but they can't. And so my channel was able to provide that platform. And also, too, the stories of the untold that happened back then in the 90s. Well, it seems like they're coming about now. Real hard, strong, and fast, but bigger than that. I'm able to also help future generations to know that, hey, guess what? The world is crazy, but the world also has a lot of joy. Behind every crazy person is a joyful person. As long as you keep that in mind, you have the world at your fingertips. Commercial break and fireworks coming your way for the day that was, for the day that's come, for the blessings on the way for you, me, all of us, as a society, as a people, as a culture. I feel the love, and I send it right back to you. Good night, everybody. I'll see you all in just a little bit at 8:30. If not, this is your final tour. Good evening to you. One love, much love, all love. I feel love. And send it right back to you. Good night, everybody.
I thought I should tell you they've been talking about you. Yeah, they've been talking about you. They've been talking about the fact that they've done everything they could to stop you and everything they could to block you, but you still win. They've been talking about the fact that they have undermined your success and they have tried to sabotage your seasons, but you keep winning. They've been talking about the fact that even though they don't like each other, they get together to try to kill you, but you keep winning. They've been talking about the fact that you were voted least likely to succeed, but like cream, you keep rising to the top. They've been talking about how they tried to burn your world down, but like the phoenix, you rose from the ashes. They've been talking about you. And you know what they say? Oh, she's just lucky. He's just lucky. But no, you ain't lucky. You're anointed. You got something on you. You got favor on you. You got power on you. You were born to win. Now they can call it luck, but it's grace. They can call it luck, but it's favor. But whatever they call it, it doesn't matter, because you know what God calls you? Do you know what God calls you? A winner. I thought I should tell you they've been talking about you. Yeah, they've been talking about you. They've been talking about the fact that they've done everything they could to stop you and everything they could to block you, but you still win. They've been talking about the fact that they have undermined your success and they have tried to sabotage your seasons, but you keep winning. They've been talking about the fact that even though they don't like each other, they get together to try to kill you, but you keep winning. They've been talking about the fact that you were voted least likely to succeed, but like cream, you keep rising to the top. They've been talking about how they tried to burn your world down, but like the phoenix, you rose from the ashes. They've been talking about you. And you know what they say? Oh, she's just lucky. He's just lucky. But no, you ain't lucky. You're anointed. You got something on you. You got favor on you. You got power on you. You were born to win. Now they can call it luck, but it's grace. They can call it luck, but it's favor. But whatever they call it, it doesn't matter, because you know what God calls you? Do you know what God calls you? A winner.
Good evening. My name is Mark Woodbury. I'm the chairman and CEO of Universal Destinations and Experiences. Well, we're finally here. Tomorrow we begin a new chapter at Universal Orlando Resort as we open Epic Universe. We built this place for you. I want to thank you, our fans, for your love of our stories, characters, and immersive experiences that inspired this incredible place. Epic Universe represents over 8 years of meticulous planning, immense creativity, and innovation, combined with unmatched craftsmanship and operational excellence on the part of thousands of people who have brought to life the stories and characters that live beyond each of Epic's portals. But it represents so much more. Your love of Universal and the deep connections we've shared together here in Orlando over the past 30 years inspired us to dream bigger and to push the boundaries to create something extraordinary for you and for generations of fans and families to come. And tomorrow, as we open Epic Universe, I can't wait for you to experience this place for yourself. Now it's your turn to step inside, to lose yourself, and to share this place with the ones you love most. As we open this park, we hope your world becomes a little more epic. Tomorrow, Epic Universe becomes yours.
Beyond this gate, find gardens green and epic worlds to fill your dreams. Prepare for a journey beyond imagination, beyond belief, beyond anything you've experienced before. Universal Epic Universe, a new theme park where you'll step through extraordinary portals to 5 immersive worlds. Prepare for a cosmic voyage of discovery, an isle of fire-breathing excitement, a shadowy world of monsters and mystery, new wonders in the wizarding world, and a new way to play. Plus the splendor of a magnificent resort hotel overlooking the park. It's all new excitement at Universal Orlando Resort. A week's worth of vacation thrills with 4 amazing theme parks, a variety of spectacular themed hotels, and incredible dining and entertainment. It's all at Universal Orlando Resort, where you'll find new adventures every day. Explore the astonishing worlds of Universal Epic Universe at Universal Orlando Resort.